Hey Kathy, we can't hear the music or see your screen anymore.
You know what happened? Peter started recording and then it shuts everything off until you agree. So give me 1 second. Here we go.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, to bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
All right, computer. Good morning, everyone. Give me 1 second while my computer catches up to the minions and everything that's happening this morning. There we go. All right, let's see now. Now that it went so far ahead. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm Kathy Nickelbein, Senior Manager for Early Head Start. We are honored to welcome our Policy Council members, families, Sunrise Board of Directors, and our esteemed community partners. Also, I'd like to welcome you, our everyday heroes that are the heartbeat of this organization, pre-K teachers, Early Head Start teachers, teacher trainees, substitute teachers, assistant pre-K teachers, family advocates, parent educators, program assistants, coordinators, coaches, our Early Head Start childcare partners, and Early Head Start family childcare partners. On behalf of myself, Tiffany Alston, Director of Programs, and Cindy Gonzalez, Deputy Director, I am excited to extend a heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you to the Sunrise Children's Foundation Early Childhood Education Programs Data Jam. Joining me today are our incredible leaders, legacy and emergence leaders who will be sharing insights throughout this presentation, highlighting data from the first quarter of the 2024-2025 school year. All data has been collected, analyzed, and aggregated beginning August 2024 through November 2024. A quick housekeeping note before we dive in, today's presentation is being recorded and will be available after the broadcast. To ensure a smooth session, Please keep yourself muted, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. Today's Data Jam is more than just about numbers. It's about the stories behind the data and how we use it to drive meaningful change for the children and families we serve. Data is powerful. It helps us identify needs, track progress, and continuously improve our programs to create better outcomes. Throughout this presentation, you'll hear from our dedicated program area managers, specialists, center directors, coaches, and leadership team members, each of whom plays a vital role in collecting, analyzing, and interpreting the data that informs our decisions. Their work allows us to measure program effectiveness, highlight areas for improvement, and implement strategies that ensure we continue delivering high-quality services. As part of today's session, we will explore how we are using data-driven decision-making to strengthen community partnerships, enhance program quality, and create positive, lasting impacts. Each program area will share their continuous quality improvement, or CQI, efforts, demonstrating how data transforms into action. Thank you for being here and for your ongoing commitment to our shared mission. We are excited to take this journey together and hope you find this session insightful, inspiring, and impactful. Without further ado, let's get started with an overview of the programs and the services we provide. Take it away, Chardonnay.
Thank you, Kathy, and hello, everyone. I'm Chardonnay Alston, Eligibility Support Specialist for the Early Head Start program. I'm excited to share a quick overview of the incredible programs we offer to support children and families in our community. Beginning with our Early Head Start program, funded for 382 children and families, this program provides comprehensive services for expecting families and/or families that have children birth through age 3. Our child development centers are located across Clark County, which includes Las Vegas and Mesquite. We have one Early Head Start child care partner, the Hills Preschool, providing Early Head Start services at 2 locations for a total of 48 children and families. Aligned with our community impact goals, we've also partnered with 9 family child care partners who provide Early Head Start services to a total of 36 children and families. Those partners include BB's Busy Bees Playhouse, Kisa's Zen Kids, Destiny's Butterflies, Dee's Play and Learn Christian Academy, Kiddiversity, Kingdom's Daycare, Creative Minds, Nanny Ray's Nursery, and Spread the Love Childcare. Early Head Start's home visiting program provides weekly home visits to 78 expecting families and/or families that have children birth to age 3 in Las Vegas, Laughlin, and Mesquite. The next program is the Maternal Infant Early Childhood Home Visiting Program, which also serves expecting families and families with children birth up to age 5. This program operates in both Las Vegas and Pahrump, serving 55 families. Our cornerstone home visiting program is the Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters program, affectionately known as the HIPPY program. HIPPY serves children ages 2 through 5 in Las Vegas, Pahrump, and Mesquite, providing curriculum learning support to 125 families. Last but certainly not least is our amazing Nevada Ready program, which serves 72 preschoolers aged 4 and 5. Thank you all so much for your attention. Now I'll pass it over to Peter, who will guide us through the key elements of quality data and the data lifecycle. Take it away, Peter.
Thank you, Chardonnay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Peter Paragis, and I'm the Data and Quality Improvement Specialist at Sunrise Children's Foundation. I'm excited to be here today to talk about why quality data and responsible data management are essential to the success of our early childhood programs. As we all know, children grow and change rapidly in their first 3 years, and families' needs evolve just as quickly. To support them effectively, we collect, track, and analyze large amounts of data. But collecting data alone isn't enough. It has to be high quality, accurate, and responsibly managed to help us make informed decisions, improve services, and create meaningful outcomes. At its core, data guides everything we do. For it to truly be impactful, it must meet 6 key characteristics. Number 1, relevancy. Data should be directly connected to the program goals and answer key questions, like tracking child development for individualized support. Number 2, timeliness. Data should be collected and analyzed regularly to provide real-time insights, especially for rapidly growing infants and toddlers. Number 3, accuracy. Data should be clear, error-free, and detailed, reflecting actual program data. Number 4, complete. Missing data can create gaps in understanding, so we must support full and accurate data entry practices to ensure that our team members have detailed choices during any decision-making process. Number 5, validity. The tools we use must measure what they were designed to measure, such as developmental milestones or family engagement. And number 6, reliability. Data should produce consistent results over time and across users, which proves its credibility. By adhering to these principles, we ensure our data supports effective decisions, monitors progress, and drives continuous improvement. And now onto the data lifecycle. As technology advances, responsible data management has become more important than ever. The responsible data lifecycle provides a structured framework to verify that our data is handled ethically and effectively. Let's break it down into 4 key steps. Step number 1, planning. Effective data management starts with planning. Before collecting any data, we must ask, what do we want to learn and how does it align with our goals? What data do we already have and what additional information is needed? And how will we use this data to measure success? By carefully planning, we avoid collecting unnecessary data and focus on what truly matters. Step number 2, collect. We collect a large volume of data, but intentional and organized data collection assists in gathering only what is necessary for meaningful analysis. Our data sources consist of, but are not limited to, the following: community needs assessment, which is updated annually and comprehensively every 5 years. Program information reports, or the PIR, to track ongoing data throughout the year. And ongoing monitoring, self-assessments, child outcomes, and program-specific reports. Regular reviews help us to ensure that data is accurate, timely, and complete. Step number 3, aggregate and analyze. Once collected, we aggregate data to identify macro trends, strengths, and areas for improvement. Meanwhile, disaggregating data, or breaking it apart into subgroups, provides deeper insights into the mechanics of specific data sets. For example, overall data may show favorable learning outcomes, but when broken down, it could reveal disparities among dual language learners, children in foster care, or families experiencing homelessness. The level of detail helps us to ensure equity in our programs and address the specific needs of every child and family that we serve. And step number 4, use and share. Data only becomes valuable when it's used to drive program decisions, inform problem solving, and create targeted improvements. We share this data with stakeholders like parents, staff, policy council members, and the Office of Head Start and community partners. Among factors that assist in the data sharing and utilization step are data verification process and quarterly analysis process. To verify whether data is clear and effective enough to provide to other parties, we follow guidelines from the 4 A's of data sharing. Accurate. Data must be verified and error-free. Appealing. Data must be presented in an easy to understand format. Accessible. Data should be shared in a way that's useful to its audience and audience specific. Data should be tailored for the needs of each group. And at Sunrise Children's Foundation, we also analyze data on a quarterly basis to ensure continuous improvement and to assess the effectiveness of ongoing practices. These quarters consist of quarter 1, which consists of the months of August through November, quarter 2, which is the months of December through March, and quarter 3, which are the months of April through July. These quarterly evaluations guide our team members in engaging with consistent monitoring and making timely adjustments to reflect any findings, turning data into insights that drive continuous quality improvement. By following the responsible data lifecycle, we move beyond compliance and use data as a tool to improve quality, protect privacy, and make data-driven decisions. Thank you all for your attention, and now I'll pass it over to Concepcion and Kibla, who will share insights from our community needs assessment.
Thank you, Peter. Hello, everyone. I'm Concepcion, Center Director at our Henderson campus, and I'm joined today by Kibla, Center Director at our Spring Valley campus. Together, we're excited to share insights from our Community Needs Assessment, a vital tool that helps us better understand the strengths, resources, and challenges within the community we serve.
The community needs assessment gives us a comprehensive view of our operating environment, allowing us to, one, identify community strengths and resources, pinpoint areas of need to guide our program, and three, ensure our services align with the realities families face, especially in undeserved areas. By analyzing this data, we tailor strategies, allocate resources effectively, and set impactful goals. Concepcion will now highlight key findings before we dive into how they guide our community impact goals.
Thank you, Kibla. Let's take a closer look at the key findings from the assessment. Nearly 1/3 of Clark County residents live in childcare deserts, particularly in rural areas like Laughlin and Mesquite. These areas often overlap with high poverty regions, creating significant barriers for families already facing economic challenges. There is a growing need for services for children and families in foster care. Foster children are a particularly vulnerable group, with current data showing that only a small percentage are served by Sunrise Children's Foundation programs. Homelessness remains a persistent challenge in Clark County, with families experiencing housing instability requiring tailored and comprehensive support. Mental health and well-being are significant concerns, with Nevada ranking 49th nationally for mental health services. Sunrise Children's Foundation survey revealed a critical need for enhanced mental health systems, particularly in areas like North Las Vegas, Henderson, Boulder City, Laughlin, and Mesquite.
These findings guide our decision and ensure our programs are designed to meet the real and pressing needs of families in Clark County. Following the assessment, we developed community impact goals to address these challenges and create lasting change. Now let's hand it over to Pam and Shamika, who will walk us through our community impact goals and how they are shaping our efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Concepcion and Kibla. Hello, everyone. I'm Pam McCary, Center Director at City Impact.
And I'm Shamika, Center Director at East Campus. We are excited to share some key highlights from our community impact goals, which are shaped by the insights gathered from our community needs assessment. This assessment gave us a clear picture of our community strengths and challenges, helping us to create strategic goals to bring lasting positive change. Let's dive into the details.
Goal focuses on expanding access by increasing childcare availability in rural and high poverty areas and partnering with childcare providers for high quality care. Our objectives include offering center and home-based options in Mesquite and Laughlin, partnering with 6 family childcare providers. Here's what we've achieved so far. In Mesquite, we've hired staff, started home visiting services, and identified a historic landmark for 3 early childhood or early Head Start classrooms. Renovations are underway and licensing is planned for early spring. In Laughlin, we're working with Clark County School District to finalize a memorandum of understanding and begin renovations. By the end of Q1, we partnered with 8 family child care providers and aim to add 3 more and establish a partnership with Source Academy and Early Learning Center.
Our second goal is increasing equitable and inclusive access to services for historically underrepresented groups, such as families experiencing homelessness, foster children, dual language learners, and children with disabilities. Progress highlights include partnering with DWSS on the Safe Babies Reunification Program, strategically recruiting in high-need areas, actively hiring men for non-traditional roles with 13 men employed across SCF programs by the end of Q1.
Our third goal is to expand workforce development and leadership opportunities by investing in education and training. Our objective is to, by the end of Q1, 71% of team members meet their qualifications. 10% are actively working toward their CDA or other certifications. Thank you for your time and attention. Now I'll hand it over to Chardonnay and Brittany, who will share more about our enrollment, recruitment, and attendance.
Hello, everyone. I am back again to talk to you about the ERC department.
And I'm Brittany Martin. We're the ERC. I am the ERC coordinator for Sunrise Children's Foundation. And we're excited to share how ERC plays a vital role in our programs.
You might be wondering, what is ERC? Great question. ERC stands for Eligibility, Recruitment, Selection, Enrollment, and Attendance. It's the foundation of how we ensure our programs are accessible, effective, and responsive to the needs of children and families. Today, we'll highlight how we use ERC data to drive continuous improvement.
Our team oversees enrollment for all SCF early childhood programs, including Early Head Start, Child Development Centers, Child Care Partners, Family Child Care Providers, Early Head Start Home Visiting, McBee, Hippie, and Nevada Ready. Let's start with Early Head Start enrollment.
Per Head Start Program Performance Standard 1302.15, we must maintain full enrollment and fill any vacancies within 30 days. To meet this goal, we've launched a full enrollment initiative, striving for 100% enrollment each month.
In Q1, our average enrollment was 84%. While not yet at full enrollment, we've seen steady progress. When we disaggregate or break down this data by month, we see a 1% monthly increase during the first 3 months, followed by a 4% jump in November.
By further breaking down the data into subgroups, we've identified how enrollment varied across child development centers, child care partners, family child care partners, and home visiting. This allows us to pinpoint trends and challenges to focus our efforts. Challenges in the first quarter included delayed classroom openings due to renovations and team member turnover, which impacted our ability to maintain staff to child ratios. However, we partnered with temporary family child care providers to address these gaps. Thanks to these efforts, we're optimistic about reaching full enrollment by January 2025 and sustaining it in the months ahead.
Moving to our maternal, infant, and early childhood home visiting program. We are funded for 55 children and families throughout Las Vegas, Laughlin, and Pahrump. We end Q1 at 82% enrolled.
In our Hippie program, we are funded for 125 children and families. In the first quarter, we maintained an average of 48% enrolled with fluctuating enrollment.
In our Nevada Ready pre-K program, we ended Q1 with 62% enrollment, with 1% in 30-day vacancies and 37% still open for new enrollments. We are actively working on outreach and recruitment efforts and are excited to reach full enrollment in Q2. Let's talk attendance, starting with Early Head Start. Head Start standards set a goal of 85% average daily attendance for our child development and family child care centers. While our Q1 average was 79%, we're actively working to support families and ensure children have consistent access to early learning opportunities. Rather than viewing attendance challenges as obstacles, we partner with families to find solutions such as providing bus passes for transportation, offering transfers to a closer center, and exploring flexible program options like home visiting. We recognize that illness, 34%, and family time, 31%, were the most common reasons for absences, and we remain committed to helping families overcome barriers to attendance. With our ongoing efforts, we look forward to seeing continued growth in attendance in the coming months.
In our Early Head Start home visiting programs, attendance is tracked differently from center-based programs. Rather than daily attendance, we monitor whether home visits were completed as planned, canceled by parents or team members, or marked as no-shows. In Q1, our data shows 54% of home visits were completed and scheduled. 32% were canceled by parents, mostly due to illness. 11% were canceled by staff, primarily for training and statewide meetings, and 3% were no-shows, meaning families were not home at the scheduled time. While occasional cancellations happen, our focus remains on rescheduling and keeping families connected to critical support services.
In our maternal, infant, and early childhood home visiting MICV program, we continue to prioritize consistent engagement with families. In Q1, our data reflects strong participation. 66% of visits were completed as scheduled, 23% were canceled by parents, mostly due to illness, and 11% were canceled by team members, similar to Early Head Start, primarily for training and statewide meetings. To maintain engagement, we provide flexible scheduling options and ongoing communication to support families in receiving services that best fit their needs.
In our HIPPY program, the attendance goal is for 80% of families to complete all offered visits each month. For Q1, 54% of visits were completed, 11% were canceled by parents, and 3% were canceled by staff. A unique feature of HIPPY is its supplemental visits, which focus on delivering extension packets, engaging parents in role-playing activities, and setting goals to enhance school readiness. While cancellations are sometimes unavoidable, we remain committed to rescheduling, providing flexibility, and keeping families engaged in their child's learning journey. With continued support, we ensure that families maximize their participation and benefit from our home visiting services.
For our Nevada Ready Pre-K program, Q1 attendance averaged 85%, demonstrating strong family commitment to consistent participation. The highest attendance rates were observed in August and October. Of 290 recorded absences, 29% were due to illness and 28% to family time.
Now let's talk about recruitment. This quarter, we connected with families at 13 community events, successfully recruiting 183 families. In addition to this in-person outreach, our online interest forms continue to be a valuable tool, making it easy for families to learn about our programs and take the first step toward enrollment. We are continuously enhancing our recruitment efforts by personalizing follow-ups to build strong relationships with interested families, targeting underserved communities to ensure equitable access to our programs, and improving tracking and outreach efforts to streamline the enrollment process and connect with families even more.
Thank you, Chardonnay. Now let's take a look at our continuous quality improvement CQI objectives for ERSI, which focus on strengthening enrollment, attendance, and community partnerships. Our first objective is to enhance enrollment strategies and family engagement by establishing a recruitment committee and also strategically planning and attending community events to connect with more families and ensure they have access to our programs. Our second objective focuses on improving attendance by ensuring families understand the importance of consistent participation. To support this, we are exploring flexible transportation options such as Lyft and Uber partnerships to help families overcome transportation barriers. Finally, we're strengthening community partnerships to address broader barriers like transportation, employment, and healthcare access. By collaborating with local organizations and service providers, we aim to ensure that families have the resources they need to stay engaged and thrive in our programs.
And that concludes ERSI's portion of today's Data Jam. Thank you for your time and attention. Now I'll hand it over to Lourdes and the Family Services team to share updates on family and community engagement.
Thank you, Chardonnay. Hello, everyone. I am Lourdes Farfan, and I'm Family Services Manager at Sunrise Children's Foundation, joined today by Vicky Hernandez, Family Services Coach, and Patricia Hicks, Family Advocate. We're excited to share updates on our family and community engagement services in our Early Head Start programs. A key focus is ensuring smooth transitions for children and families as they prepare for the next stages of their educational journey. Transition planning begins at 29 months and includes sharing critical information with families, collaborating with receiving schools and caregivers, providing personalized support for children with IFSPs or developmental concerns. This quarter, 50% of our children aged 29 months or older are actively in transition process, with 4 children successfully transitioned to SLL, 1 transitioned to under the family relative care, and 1 transitioning into HIPP.
Thank you, Lourdes. Now let's take a look at the Family Partnership Process Service. This process fosters collaboration with families to support goals in safety, health, economic stability, child development, and education, and more. Through individualized assessments, we develop family partnership agreements to guide our support. By the end of quarter 1, 61% of the families had completed these assessments, helping us to better understand their strengths. As families finalize their goals, we will continue to track and share progress.
As we continue strengthening family engagement, our family assessments and conversations help us identify areas where additional support is needed. In quarter 1, families shared key challenges, including 5.9% experience food insecurity, 13.6% requesting assistance with basic needs like housing and utilities, 27% needing diapers and wipes to support their children's daily care, 48.6% sought family relationship support, reinforcing the importance of social connections, and 3.2% seeking counseling services for mental health and well-being. By understanding these needs, we can connect with families and with essential resources and services to support their overall well-being.
To meet these needs, we have been proactively providing referrals and working with families to ensure they receive the right resources at the right time. In quarter 1, our referral included 26.4 focus on education, including parent education to support learning at home. 25.1% addressed food assistance to combat food insecurity. 24% help with basic needs like housing, diapers, wipes, and clothing. 19.9 supported health services, including counseling, family wellness, and medical care. 2.6 assisted with employment and community affairs, helping families gain economic stability. 1.8% provided childcare resources to support working parents. Beyond these referrals, we also made direct referrals to community partners, ensuring families receive specialized services when needed. This quarter, we referred 2 families to Clark County School District Child Find for developmental screenings and early intervention. 1 family each to Baby Bounty, Clark County Social Services, Hope Link, Economic Opportunity Board, Lutheran Social Services, and the Southern Nevada Health District for essential services. 7 families to other child development centers to ensure children have access to early learning opportunities. These efforts highlight our commitment to ensure every family has access to the resources, connections, and support they need to thrive.
Let's talk about Ready Rosie, our interactive parenting curriculum that empowers families with simple research-based activities to support child development. This tool helps parents build confidence, access developmental resources, and actively engage in their children's early learning. So far this year, we've shared 94 video playlists and generating 693 views, showcasing strong family engagement. Here's how families are using the content. 16.4% focused on parent-child relationships, strengthening emotional bonds. 16.4% supported family well-being, promoting resilience. 14.9% reinforced families as educators, engaging parents in the child's learning. 13.4% emphasized families as learners, encouraging growth for both children and parents. By making learning accessible and engaging, Ready Rosie helps families create meaningful learning moments at home.
At Sunrise, family engagement is at the heart of everything we do. When families actively participate in their child's learning, we see stronger outcomes and lasting impacts. Through our You Count initiative and other family engagement efforts, we create meaningful opportunities for parents and community members to connect, contribute, and support their child's school readiness journey. To ensure every contribution is recognized, we use Child Plus to track volunteer hours and engagement activities, which include family connection meetings, socializations, and school readiness events, as well as at-home activities that families do with their children in their home. Parents are also encouraged to dedicate at least 15 minutes a day to school readiness activities, and we welcome volunteers to support our classrooms by reading with the children, assisting with classroom preparation, and more. To make participation simple, families log hours using paper forms, which are verified and entered into Child Plus. Thanks to these efforts, in Q1, we recorded 2,455 volunteer hours in Early Head Start, including 117 hours for Policy Council, Family Connection meetings, and school readiness events, 1,384 hours for at-home learning activities, 839 hours for Job Discovery Program volunteers working in classrooms, 116 hours of therapists working on individual school readiness goals, 35 volunteer hours in HIPPY, 154 dedicated volunteers across Early Head Start and HIPPY, 229 parent-donated miles for medical, dental, and therapy appointments, as well as school readiness events. This remarkable level of family and community engagement strengthens our programs, enriches learning experiences, and ensures children receive the best possible start. Thank you to all the families and partners who make a difference every day.
At Sunrise, we are continuously improving how we engage with families and the community. To enhance family and community engagement, we are focusing on 3 key strategies. First, we are enhancing family engagement by introducing mobile-friendly tools for logging volunteer hours, expanding workshops and trainings, and creating events that celebrate and reflect the diversity of our community. These efforts make it easier for families to stay involved and engaged. Second, we are improving transitions for families by strengthening communication, streamlining processes with partner organizations, and providing additional resources to support families as they move through the different stages of their child's education and development. Third, we are strengthening community partnerships by expanding our focus on mental health and housing support. We are working to improve secure service delivery, enhance collaboration with local organizations, and increase outreach to ensure we are meeting the needs of undeserved communities. By implementing these strategies, we aim to strengthen relationships, improve outcomes, and ensure every family feels supported and empowered.
And that concludes our updates from Family Community Engagement Services. Thank you for your time. Now I'll pass it to Trina and her team, who will be sharing updates on home visiting program. Trina, you're muted. Thank you.
Thank you, Lourdes and team. Hello, everyone. My name is Trina Richardson, and I am the Home Visiting Manager. I'm excited to share updates on our Early Head Start and McVie home visiting programs. These programs provide services to expectant families and children from birth to age 3, focusing on school readiness and family well-being in the family's home. Using the Parents as Teachers curriculum, our home visits last 1 to 2 hours and include developmental activities, parent resources, and referrals. Home visitors act as facilitators, modeling positive interactions and encouraging parent engagement. We also host bi-weekly family connections where parents connect and children engage in peer-based activities. In Q1, the majority of McVie visits were attended by mothers at 87.1%, while EHS visits had a more diverse attendance with 70.7% attended by mothers. The data also includes the percentage of visits attended by both mother and father, as well as other caregivers. Family connection attendance showed a steady increase with November having the highest participation. Our goal is to continue offering smaller group meetings to enhance engagement. And now I'll hand it over to Chloe to talk about how our work with expected families.
Thank you, Trina. Hello, everyone. I'm Chloe Fidarco, Home Visiting Coordinator and Coach. Our home visiting program supports expecting families with tailored resources, referrals, and education to promote healthy pregnancies and positive outcomes like reduced preterm births and postpartum depression. Families complete screenings such as the Edinburgh Postnatal Depression Scale, helping us assess risks and connect them with resources. We also focus on fostering strong parent-child attachments and celebrating each family's unique strengths. During Q1, 13 families were enrolled in EHS and 4 families in MCV. 10 EHS families and 3 MCV families received prenatal care, with 6 EHS and 1 MCV families continuing post-delivery. 1 high-risk pregnancy was identified in each program. Prenatal health care was provided to 13 EHS families and 4 MCV families, while postpartum care was provided to 9 EHS families and 2 MCV families. Families also received education on fetal development, breastfeeding benefits, nutrition, infant safe sleep, and substance abuse risks. Our commitment is to ensure families have the resources and guidance they need for healthy outcomes. Now I will turn it over to Jamie to tell us more about our HIPPY program.
Thank you, Chloe. Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Stevens, HIPPY Manager at Sunrise Children's Foundation, and I am thrilled to share updates about our HIPPY program. Joining me today is Teresa Lucero, Assistant Center Director in Laughlin. HIPPY stands for Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters, and we believe that parents are a child's first and most important teacher. Our program ensures every child starts kindergarten ready to learn and succeed. Through the HIPPY curriculum, home visitors empower parents to build strong, nurturing relationships with their children while engaging in activities that prepare them for school. This developmentally appropriate curriculum includes early literacy resources, educational activity packets, and storybooks for children aged 2 to 5. Focusing on cognitive, social, emotional, and physical growth.
Thank you, Jamie. One of our key objectives is family health and economic self-sufficiency. During Q1, our team provided 374 resources to parents during home visits, covering topics like family well-being, physical and mental health, child development interventions, adult education, employment opportunities, and recreational activities. Additionally, we prioritize behavioral health by discussing any concerns with families during 90% of all home visits. I'm proud to share that in Q1, we achieved 99% in this area. Now, let's talk about reading. We track the percentage of families reading to their children daily, and the results are worth celebrating. In August, we did not record data. However, in September, 2% of families read daily, which increased to 44% in October and 84% in November. For Q1, we've averaged 43%, a fantastic achievement.
Thank you, Teresa. Now let's look at our CQI efforts. First, enhancing training for home visitors. Weekly role plays and observation tools like the home visiting rating scale help strengthen facilitation skills and improve parent-child interactions. Second, strengthening community partnerships. We're building collaborations in health, mental health, and nutrition to address family diverse needs. And lastly, boosting family engagement. By offering small group socializations, culturally responsive activities, and flexible scheduling, we aim to increase participation and strengthen connections. With these strategies, we're confident in our ability to enhance services, deepen family engagement, and support better outcomes. That includes our update for home visiting. Thank you for your time. Now I'll pass it over to Nicole and her team, who will share updates on education and child development services.
Thank you, Trina and team. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Pobleni, Education Manager at Sunrise Children's Foundation, joined by Denzi Hernandez, another Education Manager, and Tanya Pineda, our Education Coordinator. Together, we're excited to share updates on education and child development services where we lay the foundation for lifelong learning by fostering cognitive, social, and emotional growth, including for children with disabilities.
A key part of our work is completing developmental screenings using the Ages and Stages Questionnaire, ASQs, within 45 days of enrollment. These screenings, conducted with families, help identify potential concerns early and guide timely referrals. For Q1, 86% of screenings were completed in Early Head Start, with steady progress reaching 82% by November. Breaking it down further by program option helps us pinpoint where extra support is needed to ensure timely assistance to children and families. In our McV program, screening completion reached 91% with a significant improvement over the quarter. HIPPY began strong at 100% in August, dipping in October, but rebounded to 100% in November. We also use SmartTeach for child assessments, tracking progress across key developmental areas. Educators complete Innovator Reliability certifications to ensure consistency. By the end of Q1, 26% of Early Head Start educators were certified, 10% were in progress, and 64% were preparing to start. Family childcare providers worked on required coursework, and home visiting maintained 100% certification. Certification rates in McV started at 60% in August and ended stronger at 67% in November. HIPPY averaged 73% certifications with progress throughout the quarter.
Thank you, Tanya. Now let's dive into our child data outcomes, which are essential in understanding and supporting each child's development. Our goal is for at least 85% of our children to meet or exceed the widely held expectations as defined in SmartTeach across 4 key developmental domains: social, emotional, physical, language, and cognitive, ensuring equitable progress for all children, including those in foster care, experiencing homelessness, dual language learners, African American boys, and children with individualized family service plans. At our Early Head Start Child Development Centers, including childcare partners, we assessed 81 children during the baseline period, the first 30 days of the program year, and 153 children in Q1 between September to November. Here's what the data shows. In social emotional development, children below expectations dropped from 34% to just 9%, while those exceeding or meeting or exceeding expectations increased from 69% to 91%. In physical development, the percentage of children below expectations decreased from 24% to 13%, while those exceeding expectations grew from 5% to 15%. In language development, we saw progress with children below expectations dropping from 39% to 31%, and those meeting expectations increasing from 56% to 64%. Language remains an area needing continued support. In cognitive development, the percentage of children below expectations decreased from 23% to 12%, while those exceeding expectations grew from 4% to 14%, and those meeting expectations also increased from 73% to 75%. This data demonstrates strong growth in social, emotional, and cognitive development, while continued focus on language development will further strengthen progress.
Unlike our center-based programs, some visiting does not conduct a baseline checkpoint, as the early weeks focus on building relationships and completing initial paperwork. In Q1, we assess an average of 42 children, and the data reveals in social emotional development, 32% of children were below expectations, while 68% met expectations. In physical development, 47% were below expectations, with 53% meeting expectations. In language development, 43% were below expectations, while 58% met expectations. In cognitive development, the strongest domain with only 10% below expectations, 87% meeting, and 3% exceeding. While cognitive development is a strength, language and physical development require additional focus to support skill building in communication and motor skills.
To better understand developmental progress for children receiving individualized early intervention services, we analyzed Q1 data for 13 children with IFSPs. Here's what we found. In social emotional development, 60% of children met expectations. In physical development, 75% met expectations. In language development, 47% met expectations. And in cognitive development, 43% met expectations. This data emphasizes the importance of focused interventions in language and cognitive development, while physical and social emotional skills show progress.
Now let's take a look at our children in foster care. Between the baseline checkpoint and Q1, we saw exceptional progress. In social emotional development, children below expectations dropped from 60% to 0%, with 83% meeting expectations and 17% exceeding. In physical development, while 100% met expectations in baseline, Q1 data shows 13% below, 75% meeting, and 13% exceeding expectations. In language development, there was a dramatic shift with children below expectations dropping from 60% to 0%. 100% in Q1 were meeting or exceeding expectations. In cognitive development with similar progress, with children below expectations dropping from 40% to 0%, and 100% meeting or exceeding expectations.
Next, let's examine the progress of children experiencing homelessness. The data shows steady improvements across developmental domains. In social emotional development, the percentage of children below expectations decreased from 44% to 36%, with 64% in Q1 meeting expectations. In physical development, the percentage of children below expectations dropped from 44% to 36%. Notably, 18% are now exceeding expectations. In language development, while progress is happening, 55% remain below expectations, a decrease from 67% in the baseline checkpoint. In cognitive development, the data remains stable, with 64% of children meeting expectations in Q1, compared to 67% in the baseline checkpoint. Overall, we are seeing steady progress in social, emotional, and physical development, while language and cognitive skills remain priority areas for additional support.
We also closely track the progress of our dual language learners to ensure that bilingualism is nurtured as a strength. In social emotional development, the percentage of children below expectations dropped from 41% to just 10% in Q1. In physical development, in both of the baseline and Q1, we maintained 25% of children below expectations, with a small increase in those exceeding expectations from 6% to 7%. In language development, 33% were below expectations in Q1, with 65% meeting and 3% exceeding expectations. In cognitive development, children below expectations dropped from 33% to 10%, while those meeting expectations rose from 60% to 78%. Additionally, we assess dual language learners in Spanish language development. The results remain consistent, with 36% below expectations, 57% meeting, and 7% exceeding. These results confirm that dual language learners are making substantial progress, but language development is remaining a key focus for ongoing support.
Now let's take a look at our culturally responsive practices and how our African American boys and girls are progressing in their school readiness journey. Comparing the baseline checkpoint to Q1, we see positive gains in social emotional development. The percentage of children below expectations dropped from 28% to 24%, with 72% now meeting expectations, showing improved emotional regulation and social skills. Physical development remains steady, with 23% below, 65% meeting, and 12% exceeding. Language development remains an area of focus, as 40% of children remain below expectations, showing little change from the baseline. More targeted language interventions are needed. Cognitive development saw the biggest shift, with children below expectations increasing from 8% to 27%. This signals an urgent need for focused interventions in problem solving and reasoning skills.
In our HIPPY home visiting program, like our Early Head Start home visiting program, we do not conduct a baseline period. Instead, we focus on building relationships and completing initial paperwork. In Q1, the data shows in social emotional development, 45% of children are meeting expectations. In physical development, 47% are meeting, and the language, 70% are meeting. Cognitive development has 59% meeting and 2% exceeding. In our HIPPY program, we also assess in mathematics, which we can see that 52% are meeting and 7% are exceeding expectations. For our dual language learners, we can see that 71% are meeting and 7% are exceeding expectations. Now, onto our CQI objectives. Let's talk about our education and child development services continuous quality improvement objectives. Our first objective is to strengthen pathways for early childhood educators and family service professionals. We've enhanced CDA pathways, expanded online learning options, and introduced tracking systems to measure progress and outcomes effectively. Our second objective is to expand data-driven decision-making. This includes using SmartTeach for detailed child progress tracking, creating custom reports to monitor milestones, conducting regular data reviews for actionable strategies, and driving meaningful change through targeted interventions. Lastly, we aim to ensure consistency in child assessments by providing robust training and onboarding for SmartTeach, hosting bi-weekly check-ins and peer-led observations, offering resources to address gaps quickly. These efforts ensure accurate, high-quality assessments and continuous improvement through educator feedback and certification rates.
That wraps up our child development and education services portion. Now, I will hand it over to the health services team for updates on health and safety data and their plans for continuous quality improvement. Take it away, Angela.
Thank you, Nicole and Tanya. Hello, everyone. I am Angela Watlington, the Health Services Manager for Sunrise Children's Foundation. Joining me are Zulay Placencia, one of our health coordinators, and Nichelle Minnis, our health program specialist. We're excited to share updates on all things health services, including physical health and well-being, nutrition, and special needs, and more.
We prioritize timely well baby and well child health checks to ensure children's overall development is on track, addressing concerns early and promoting access to medical, dental, and mental health care. By the end of Q1, November 2024, in Early Head Start, child statuses were as follows: 56% complete or up to date, 21% were due, and 23% were past due or incomplete. In McV and Nevada Ready, in McV, child statuses were 39% complete or up to date, 22% were due, and 40% were past due or incomplete. And for Nevada Ready, child statuses were 59% completed or up to date, with 17% due and 23% past due or incomplete.
We also prioritize immunizations to protect children from preventable illnesses and to ensure that all ongoing requirements are met. We aim for 90% of enrolled children to be up to date or complete on the immunization statuses. In Early Head Start, we ended the first quarter in November 2024 with 78% of immunizations being as complete, 5% exempt, 2% not marked, and 14% past due. In McV, 48% were complete, 5% exempt, 23% not marked, and 24% past due. In HIPPY, 81% were complete, 5% exempt, 1% not marked, and 14% past due. In our Nevada Ready program, we ended with 92% complete and 6% exempt, 1% not marked, and 1% past due.
Vision and hearing screenings are critical in early development. providing an opportunity to identify visual, auditory, or sensory concerns early. By the end of Q1, November 2024, Early Head Start achieved 83% completion or up-to-date status and 17% due or past due. McV and Nevada Ready saw lower rates, emphasizing our areas for improvement, with McV ending the quarter with 22% complete and 78% due or past due, and Nevada Ready 53% complete and 47% that are either due or past due.
Nutrition is key. Providing nutritious, cultural appropriate meals and snacks is a fundamental component of our child development centers, supporting the physical health and well-being of every child we serve. All meals and snacks adhere to the Child and Adult Care Program CACFP guidelines, ensuring that they meet high standards for nutritional quality. Our commitment extends to supporting family child care providers through their partnership with Food for Kids, enabling them to provide the same high-quality meals that align with CACFP standards. This collaboration ensures that all child in our care receive consistent nutritious meals regardless of their care setting. We do not claim any meals from family child care meals and are in the process of obtaining the numbers of meals served. At the end of the first quarter, we served a total of 21,047 Kamuba meals for the Early Head Start and 5,047 Kamuba meals to Nevada Ready participants. This figure excludes additional snacks provided throughout the day.
Our quarterly health and safety monitoring ensures the environment and daily practices are safe and compliant across centers and partner sites. In Q1, the average compliance for center base was 86%, and for family child care was 94%. Equipment and materials and policies and procedures displayed the highest areas of opportunity. The team is actively working to strengthen these areas through the revisions of procedures and forms, focused team member training and professional development, as well as hands-on support to ensure we are providing high-quality, inclusive, and supportive environments. Individualized comprehensive support is provided for children enrolled who have been determined eligible for services under IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, ensuring children with disabilities have access to inclusive environments and are capable of participating in all program activities. As required by the Head Start Program Performance Standard 1302.14b, SCF maintained above the 10% threshold of actual enrollment filled with children eligible for services under IDEA. Throughout Q1, from August 2024 to November 2024, Early Head Start had an average of 12% of children enrolled eligible under IDEA. In McV, there was an 8% average of children enrolled who are eligible under IDEA, and across Nevada Ready classrooms, we averaged 4% of the actual enrollment filled with children eligible under IDEA.
Special care plans address this unique needs of children, including those with disabilities, chronic conditions, or dietary restrictions. As of Q1, 12 disability care plans and 17 health nutritional care plans were developed to ensure every child can thrive in their environments.
Our RIO, Request for Internal Observation process, helps track and address developmental and behavioral concerns. In Q1, 9 RIOs were submitted across all programs, with 33% of concerns related to language, 56% related to behavioral social emotional development, 78% were for male participants, 44% involved children identifying as African American, and 44% identifying as Hispanic. These numbers highlight the need for enhanced language interventions and targeted strategies to support communication skills, and continue to guide our focus on mental health, equity, and inclusion. Supporting mental health remains a top priority through the intensive coaching, trauma-informed care and practice framework, and Circle of Security training. We equip staff with tools to foster secure relationships and address the impacts of trauma. As of Q1, 11 team members participated in the Circle of Security training. 6 team members received TICP coaching, and 4 team members received intensive coaching.
Wrapping up health services, here is our continuous quality improvement objectives. First, strengthen CACFP compliance by focusing on accurate documentation for correct claiming of meals and appropriate implementation of family-style dining. allowing us to enhance meal times and learning environments. Second, expand team member knowledge on IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and mental health practices, equipping staff with strategies to implement trauma-informed care, build nurturing and responsive relationships, and provide high-quality supportive environments. And lastly, enhance the RIO process. Revise and strengthen this process to better support our most vulnerable populations while improving the quality and timeliness of referrals being submitted. By focusing on these areas, we're confident in improving health outcomes and strengthening our programs.
And that wraps up health services. I'll now hand it back over to Kathy to close us out.
Thank you all for joining us for today's Data Jam. Just a reminder that today's presentation has been recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel after this broadcast. Your engagement, collaboration, and dedication to the children and families we serve are what drive our collective success. So thank you. To our esteemed guests, we truly appreciate your time and commitment. Your support and partnership help strengthen our efforts, and we hope today's session has been both informative and inspiring. At this time, you are welcome to leave, and we thank you again for being part of this important discussion. For all SCF, CCP, and FCC team members, we're not done just yet. Let's take a quick 10-minute break to allow this leadership team a moment to regroup. When we return, we'll wrap up with a fun and interactive round of Data Jam Cahoots to test our knowledge and close out the day on a high note. Thank you again for your dedication, passion, and commitment. We'll see you back in 10 minutes.